Picture this. Hidden within towering sandstone cliffs for centuries, an extraordinary city just emerged from the desert. Its temples, its tombs, these massive monuments, they were carved directly into solid rock. It's the kind of thing that absolutely astonished every single traveler who laid eyes on it. This was Petra, the legendary capital of the Nabataeans. And it was so much more than just a settlement. It was a thriving epicenter of global trade, a spiritual hub, and quite frankly, a masterpiece of impossible engineering, standing incredibly tall right in the middle of these desolate canyons in ancient Arabia. To this day, it remains one of humanity's absolute greatest architectural achievements. Let's dive right into this explainer and see exactly how they pulled it off. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. Ancient Arabia and the Nabataeans. 2. Carving the rock-cut city. 3. Mastering desert water engineering. 4. Wealth of the incense trade. 5. Roman rule and gradual decline. And finally, 6. Modern discoveries and legacy.
Section 1. Ancient Arabia and the Nabataeans. From desert nomads to trade masters. So we really have to look at how this whole region evolved over the centuries. It's actually a continuous, fascinating chain of brilliant, adaptable societies. It kicks off with the early Sabaean caravan economy, way down south around 1200 BCE, then moves on to the mighty Nabataeans settling Edom in 4th century BCE. Eventually, we see Roman annexation in 106 CE, and later the rise of the Nabataean Kingdom in 268 CE. It all started when early Iron Age settlers arrived from the deep desert and figured out something absolutely crucial: how to manage the monsoon rains. By completely mastering their harsh environment, they laid the groundwork for what the ancient world would soon call Arabia Felix, or prosperous Arabia. The survival skills they developed here, those set the epic stage for the engineering miracles that were about to come. Section 2. Carving the rock-cut city. Architecture of the Nabataeans. The city of Petra was strategically hidden deep within a natural geological fault called the Seek. Imagine this winding, narrow gorge with walls towering up to 80 meters high. It acted as this formidable natural fortress that protected over 800 individual rock-cut structures hidden inside the canyon, including, of course, the world-famous treasury, known as Al-Khazna. Now, how did they actually build massive facades like Al-Khazna? Well, the genius is in their top-down carving technique. Instead of building these towering, incredibly dangerous wooden scaffolds from the canyon floor up, which honestly would have been a massive undertaking, Nabataean stonemasons started at the very top of the cliff face and carved their way down. As they worked downward, the rock they were chiseling away provided a natural built-in platform to stand on. It's just brilliantly efficient. And what's truly fascinating is the geology itself. Because of the dramatic, natural iron oxide colors in the sandstone, we're talking vibrant reds, purples, oranges, and yellows. The Nabataeans didn't even need to paint their magnificent tomb interiors. The rock naturally supplied this awe-inspiring, swirling wallpaper that still looks absolutely stunning over 2 millennia later. No applied pigments necessary. Section 3. Mastering desert water engineering, survival in the arid wasteland. Okay, earlier civilizations like the Sabaeans built things like the colossal Merib Dam, a massive 15-meter-high diversion barrage designed to irrigate 10,000 hectares of agriculture. But the Nabataeans took that legacy of water management and adapted it to their incredibly rugged terrain. They engineered these intricate flash flood diversion dams right at the entrance of the Seek, and they laid down kilometers of sealed ceramic pipes and kanats to safely route that sudden, lethal floodwater right into the city. And you have to keep this number in mind. The Petra region received a mere 150 millimeters of annual rainfall. That's it. Let that sink in for a second. With that little rain, sustaining a permanent urban settlement of this massive size seems mathematically impossible, right? Yet by carving over 200 underground cisterns deep into the bedrock, they miraculously captured and stored an estimated 40 million liters of water. That massive reserve sustained a population of up to 30,000 people year-round. They even had enough water pressure to run a monumental public fountain right in the city center. I mean, talk about a pure flex of their hydraulic wealth. Section 4. Wealth of the incense trade, the crossroads of antiquity. Thanks to that absolute mastery of their environment, the Nabataeans essentially cornered the market on highly coveted luxury goods. If you wanted frankincense, myrrh, exotic spices, or silk in Rome or Greece, it more than likely came through Petra. They taxed the massive camel caravans transporting these goods all the way from southern Arabia up to the Mediterranean, basically acting as the ultimate middleman in the global supply chain of antiquity. But it's worth noting that this highly lucrative tradition of Arabian trade and cultural transmission didn't just vanish into thin air when Petra eventually declined. It was actually sustained later on by states like the Lakhmid Kingdom. Operating from their capital in Al-Hira, the Lakhmids masterfully navigated the intense rivalry between Sasanian Persia and Byzantium, keeping those Arabian commercial networks alive and prosperous for centuries. Section 5. Roman Rule and Gradual Decline. The Shifting Sands of Empire. All that incredible wealth, of course, eventually caught the eye of the expanding Roman Empire. In 106 CE, Emperor Trajan annexed Nabataea. Just like that, Petra lost its political independence and was placed under direct Roman rule, becoming the capital of the newly minted province of Arabia Petraea. And while the city did initially continue to prosper under Roman influence, the seeds of its downfall were definitely planted. Petra's fall wasn't an overnight thing. It was a slow, agonizing decline. Global trade routes began shifting away from the overland caravans toward maritime sea routes, and competing hubs like Palmyra started rising to prominence. But the final catastrophic blow came in 363 CE. A massive earthquake shattered Petra's delicate water management systems. With weakened infrastructure and not enough resources to rebuild their lifelines, the city was just gradually abandoned to the sands. Section 6. Modern Discoveries and Legacy. Uncovering the Truth. So hidden from the Western world for centuries, Petra was essentially rediscovered in 1812 by a Swiss explorer named Johann Ludwig Burckhardt. When he first laid eyes on structures like the treasury, he learned of local Bedouin legends claiming the solid sandstone urn at the very top held a pharaoh's gold. Since there was no easy way to look inside, people actually tried to shoot it open to get the gold to spill out. Even today, you can see bullet holes up there. But in reality, it was a royal tomb, not a treasure chest. Modern excavations have uncovered a deeply unique culture here. Unlike the Romans or Greeks who carved these elaborate human-like statues of their gods, the Nabataeans worshipped their chief deity, Dushara, and goddesses like Al-Uzza through sacred unhewn stone blocks called Bethels. It was a distinctly aniconic tradition, proving that despite all their Hellenistic architectural flair, their spiritual roots remained fiercely tied to ancient Arabian traditions. Petra is far more than just a city carved into stone. It's a monument to human creativity, resilience, and sheer ambition. Hidden for centuries among the mountains of Arabia, it continues to reveal new secrets to archaeologists today, which really leaves us to wonder, what other extraordinary ancient secrets are still lying hidden beneath the sands, just waiting for history to reveal them?